Well, good afternoon. Hello, everybody out there. As we come your way on a Monday, the snow's out there. It's the leftover from the weekend. Yeah, that's what we're telling folks. The dog will probably bark in a moment. That's okay. He's part of the show too. Here we go. Let's roll the thing. Let's roll it open in three, two, one. Okay, I'm trying something new today, and I don't know if it's actually working. So, okay, I've got my earbuds on, but I got these new earbuds, and they're the kind that like you touch and they reverse and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, see, I just stopped it. I didn't realize I stopped it. Anyway, I got these cool earbuds that I got for Christmas, and I'm hearing myself now, so I know I'm on. I'm kind of stumbling around here, but if you touch them, and I haven't gotten quite used to this yet, because if you adjust them, they're fine. But if you touch them, one side's the volume, one side's I'm sorry, yeah, I think one side's volume, one side's stopping or rewinding or something like that. And what I did was I was adjusting the earbud, and it stopped the music, so I actually paused the intro. But I did finally get him hooked up there. But all good. So yes, a great present for my cool wife. I finally tried to figure them out, and I did figure out the trick. The trick was I just never knew this, that to pair earbuds, you've got to, I just kind of figured you could have multiple things paired, which you can, but with my laptop, for some reason, these earbuds are being picked up by my phone and my watch and not my laptop. And so I couldn't figure out why in the world, how come, dang it, these earbuds won't work on my laptop? I finally solved that today. So, yes, major problems today, but did solve that issue today. One of the things I did solve when I was substitute teaching Spanish today. So, all good there as the snow does come down. Let's go where I know it's snowing. Well, I don't know if it's snowing. I actually, did I actually pull this? Actually, I guess I did pull this down. I'll do one more thing here. First off, I'll let it stop the snow here in just a second. Let's go here. Producing on the fly. I don't got a lot today. This is pretty much a Monday, what we call mail-it-in show. Our ratings will go up as the week goes on, as we get more exciting programming. This is kind of this is the one we just kind of mail it in a little bit, but I am going to give you some content. I don't know what it is exactly. I had something up here a moment ago, but I guess I just deleted it. Here we go. Let's also take the snow off for the time being. I did not look at the temperature last hour. 46. Yeah, we didn't get above 50 today, but I think we will tomorrow. So that's all good. 46 last hour at the big airport. Drop that down. There we go. And let's go. Like I said, snowing. It always snows in this place in Indiana. Let's go there right now. Let's see what's going on with Mom. Here we go. All righty, Mom. How are you doing there today?
How I'm doing? I do a lot of doing nothing. Does that make sense? I do a lot of doing nothing.
Trying to get my earbuds organized. I don't know if I love them. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I like them on these shows, because again, if I just if I do it right here, they're okay. But if I actually touch them, it can mess up my whole.
You're just gonna have to learn not to touch.
Yeah,
Don't touch, my dear. Don't
good
touch.
though, but it's all good though. But yeah, they're working though. They're cool. Here's when I was listening to them in Q, they sounded much more vibrant now. But I guess either I don't know if I turned them. I don't know what I did. So I have to. I mean, I guess the instructions are there for a reason. I don't know, but
Probably so, to be read or
I
try
still
to
hear you.
understand.
I still hear you, but I don't. I don't. It's not nearly as loud as maybe it's not. We'll figure it out between now. Like if I do the touching. Well, see, now I'm when I did that, I'm playing the music from. Oh, okay, here it is. Yeah, it was the music of the T-Bones. The T-Bones intro was like on one of my browser windows. So when I first thing I heard was when I started play was the T-Bones intro music, and that's what I just. Did you hear that? When it if I do this again? If
No,
I
I
do it
don't
again.
hear a thing.
There you go.
I don't hear it on the Be Live, so there you go.
Well, I heard it, and I don't know if it went over the air or not, but oh well. Anyway, okay, all good. So what's going up there? Did you? Yeah, I just need to get used to them. My wife says it just really they are good, and don't get me, they're awesome. And I've listened to some jams over the weekend, but um, I just don't know. I don't know if they're going to be conducive to broadcasting. The good news is all they do is I don't have to worry about them as a microphone. I don't believe so.
Yeah, and you don't have a thing hanging around your
Well,
neck.
well, these earbuds here have the little microphone. That way, just in case these microphones don't work, I've got those, but I can also go to a microphone on my camera as well. So there's all kinds of technical mumbo jumbo. But
Yeah.
I have to go to Kansas City in a week and a half for a press conference, and I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want, what gear I want to use, and incorporate these and all that stuff. So what's going up there, Mom? I'm going to see Carrie, Mike, GM, Virginia, GM, and GM. GM's there a lot.
Well, GM and I are the two most important people in your life. I guess you know.
Yeah, I guess that's true, Mom. So what's going on? Did you guys get dumped on like
No,
epic proportions of
no,
snow? You didn't
sorry
get what
about
we
your
got?
luck. No, we haven't had snow in a few days. No, we haven't had. It was in the 20s today, but no snow.
Did y'all get lots of smoke today? A lot of y'all manufacture smoke up there, don't you?
No, well, we
You don't?
sometimes get fog.
Like
When Sam came over yesterday, it was a little foggy. So anyway, and tell Gay Marie, I'll tell her publicly here. If she can she hear me? Yes, she can hear me. Tell her
yeah,
that
she's
her mom and
watching.
I had talked on Saturday for quite some time. So
Oh,
we've cured all the
right.
problems in
Should
the
I
world.
should I call my in-laws and apologize now or
No, actually, she called me and I didn't recognize the number and it was silenced. And then I realized who it was because it's a Grand Prairie cell phone number. So I called her back and it was
oh
Joy. So yes, I'm gonna we need to have her ideology tested because she thinks you're wonderful. So I'm wondering
yeah.
how you managed to not screw that up. So
Yeah, it's pretty well. Give me time. I'll figure out a way. Give me time.
she
Like everything
thinks you're
else. I'll
wonderful. So there you go. So
give me
and I
time.
guess that makes me wonderful too because I spawned you, right?
Yeah, that would probably you'd probably definitely benefit from that, I would think. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No,
So
I
we cured all
definitely,
the
definitely.
problems of the world and we caught
Well,
up
that's
with
cool.
family and there you go. So and she told me all the good news and all the bad news and so I'm all caught up. So there you go.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Hey, Steve, good to see you, Steve. How you doing, bud? Good to see you up there in KC.
so
My
anyway,
wife has to say this. He is wonderful. That's part of it. It's kind of
well, I
like
know
she has to
I
say
drug her
something.
into that conversation, didn't I? Well,
A
I
little
tell you
bit,
what,
a
her
little bit.
parents are wonderful, and you're lucky to have her in your life. So don't screw that up, okay? So
I'm trying
this
not
is
to.
not
I don't know.
marriage counseling. It's just saying I'm happy with you
Still
and your
throwing
choices,
off,
huh?
still throwing off speed. I'm still throwing off speed pitches, and she's still swinging and missing. So that's good.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, I'm going to get on the other side. Well, I don't have much to tell. Let's see. I've got a busy week starting tomorrow. I got to get my hair done. As you know, it looks like it needs to be done. And early in the morning, and I have some errands to run. And then I'm doing you've heard of Franklin Covey seminars? Anyway, they're kind of,
Sort of.
what was
Yeah,
the guy
yeah.
that
I
went
think
to,
so.
the son that went to Trinity? He did these, what was his name? Anyway, uh, the foundation, they're quite pricey. And so the community foundation in Elkhart is offering it to nonprofit officers and board members.
Oh, was it Zig Ziglar?
What Zig Ziglar is who I was thinking of, but it's Franklin Covey Institute is kind of like Zig Ziglar. I mean, that kind of thing. So anyway, I do that 1 to 5 on Wednesday and 1 to 5 on Thursday, and got this paperwork to fill out. It's like I'm going to school for 2 afternoons. So anyway, so I'm looking forward though to seeing if I can learn how to be a more productive board president. But who knows? Maybe not. So anyway, I'm going to get on the other side. So
All right, Mom. Well, enjoy your rest of your wine there.
Oh, well, yeah, I forgot. A nice red blend from Argentina.
Oh, those Argentinas, they make a mean Malbec, I think. I think that's right.
Yeah, well, they do great Malbecs, and so does Argentina. That's a really great place for Malbec. So, and this has probably got Malbec in it. It's a blend. Anyway, that I had at a wine tasting several years ago, and I drug it out of the basement because I haven't gone to pick up my monthly wine club stuff. So,
right,
I'm going to a wine dinner at the end of the month, so I'll
Where's
probably have
that
some more
gonna
wine to drink. Huh?
Where's the wine dinner going to be?
It's at the Lex 530 Event Center. That my friends own. We had our first fundraiser there, 2 years ago, and they had. Well, it's not a dinner; it's a wine tasting with hors d'oeuvres, and the man who used to be in my wine club, run my wine club, he has left and retired, and they've hired him to do these dinners, and he's really knowledgeable. So I'm looking forward to connecting with him again at the end of the month. So anyway,
Gotcha.
so I'll have some more wine to talk about. I can do wine talk, Mama wine talk, Mama.
There you go. Maybe you should have your own channel or something like that.
I guess so. Maybe so. Here's my comments on wine. I love it, and I love it, and I love it. I'm not real particular. I'm not. I don't have to smell and swirl and all that. I just drink the darn stuff, and it makes me happy. So there you go.
There you go.
I love you. I'm on the
Love
other
you too,
side.
Mom. Here we go. See you later. There goes Mom right there in Indiana. She hits the brakes there for us. All righty. Always great to see Mom, of course. Mom always opens the show up, and I didn't even know that she'd talked to my in-laws over the weekend. That's pretty cool. Anyway, glad you guys are along on a Monday. It's the catch-up edition on Mondays. On Mondays, we usually catch up. I want to know what you guys are doing. What are y'all doing? What's going on? What was your weekend? What'd you do? Anything exciting? Did you get any sleep? Did you get anything done? Did you cook a new dish? Did you find a new beer? Did your team win? Couple of things of that nature we're going to get to in a moment. Because I want to brag on a mate of mine in Australia, and I don't know if he's quite up yet, but he'll be up shortly. Yeah, he's probably up at 7:30 his time. First up tonight, college football begins in a couple of hours tonight. I don't know what you guys, what Vegas thinks. Vegas thinks that tonight's Alabama, Ohio State, they believe that it opened. Originally, Alabama was a 7.5-point favorite last week. That line is anywhere between 7 on the high end, 8.5, but it's around 7's the standard, depending where you're at. It looks like most of the books in Vegas for that 8 o'clock start got them at 7.5. So somewhere there, that looks to be where it is. Mom asking, I don't know. That's a good question, Mom. You didn't hear Mom music as she left? Huh. I don't know why. Let me see. Let's just see if out of curiosity, let's just see if this is playing. Just out of curiosity, do you hear this? Let's just see if you hear this. Did you hear that? But just curious. If you heard that, I'm just because this may be an issue with the this may be an issue with the new earbuds. Again, they're kind of cool, but maybe this experiment's not working out so smartly. I don't know. But anyway, I did play some music, so if you didn't hear it, Jim, yes. Let's see here. No, turn it up. I don't know if I can do that. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to put those down, and we'll plug these in because apparently the jams didn't play, and well, we'll just do this. This should work. Hopefully. Let's just go ahead and see if the jams work. Don't you love it? This is a show you guys tune in for to watch me stumble around here. And let's try to go. Let's see if you guys hear it this time now. Let's try this. Do you hear this? Let's see it. Here we go. Oh, I'm not even hearing myself. Interesting. Oh, you know what? I got to change the headphones. Hold on. And let's do this. There we go. Now let's try it. Let's see if it works now. You should be able to hear it now. You heard it now, okay. I don't hear it. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not hearing it at all. So anyway, well, as long as you hear it again, you did hear it? Okay. All right. Well, I assume that you know what? I'll just pull this off and I'll just assume. Let's just see if it's working here. See, I don't hear any of that. Oh man, I messed. I mean, we're like talking about flying sort of blindly here. All right. Okay, back where we're going. We were talking about the game tonight. Roll Tide. Did I say that? Just to want. You know what? My disdain for both is pretty high. I dislike the Big Ten in general, although I do sort of root for Penn State because it's a team in my house. But the wife went there, and she went there when they weren't part of the Big Ten. The Big Ten, I think, I can watch some Big Ten games, but in general, I don't know, just not into the Big Ten. Number two, Alabama. Just not a huge fan of that whole outfit either. But they're both really daggum good teams, so it should be an entertaining ball game. I don't really have a horse in the race. I mean, I don't know. I guess Alabama. I do have a couple more. I have more friends. Yeah, I got friends from both. I shouldn't say friends from both. I've got one friend that's an Alabama grad and a bunch of friends that are Ohio State fans. So it's kind of one of those deals where, you know, it's, I don't know. You know, there are a lot of Ohio people from Ohio that cheer for Ohio State who didn't go to school there. And that always kind of, sort of, I just didn't get, only because I'm from a place where the water cooler around Texas, we talked about this about a month ago about the Southwest Conference. The water cooler around any office in this part of the country is always pretty, what's the word for it? A little snarky from both ends. I mean, you're going to school with, you're going to work with Aggies and Longhorns and Red Raiders and Sooners and Okie Staters and Baylors and TCUers and SMU. And there's all those water cooler talks that go on. And that was kind of the fun of this state because there's so many Division I programs in places like Arkansas, West Virginia, Ohio State. You know, it's a little different. You have a lot of folks in those states who are big fans of those schools despite, and it happens a little bit at the University of Texas. You get a lot of fans who just cheer for UT because it's the University of Texas. So I get that sort of, I don't know, that whole nonsense kind of sort of, I don't know. I'm not saying got to be a fan of Texas Tech. We got to go to school there, but I kind of think that's part of the fun. That's just me. I mean, again, tonight's game, 7.5, 7. I think it'll be a great game. I think Ohio State covers it. I don't think they win it though. So anyway, okay, where were we? A couple of things. Hey, good to see Schmitty in Australia. Yeah, your mom told me not to screw this up. We know, I guess we know more with Alabama, I suppose. But again, the weird thing about Alabama is, and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but or didn't know this, or you wouldn't seen it. It's probably the wrong word. I might get this off the screen here. I can't even see the screen now. Let's see here. Okay, wait. Here we go. Mike Martin is when I get to that. Mike, I'm bringing this down too. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to. Yes, we do know some Alabama folks. Alabama's been very aggressive in recruiting students from Texas, and I don't know what the bit with that is. There's a lot of kids from Dallas-Fort Worth, from down in the Houston area. I've got fraternity brothers of mine who have kids at both Auburn and Alabama. I've got high school mates of mine who have kids at both schools as well. I don't know what goes into that. I just know a little bit from talking to my nephews that that's a big deal, that a lot of kids are getting recruited to go to school there. I take it that their student helps the student population. I don't know if it's a GPA thing. My wife can probably give me more of that, but I mean, again, that's a big deal too. So yes, we know a lot from here. But anyway, I really don't have a horse in the race. So tonight, I just hope it's a great game. My mom asked about Mike Martin. Yes, you have not missed it. Our concerts in September. We're sowing the commemorative coins right now. Mike does a really cool. He's got a really great charity. It's Gold Glove Charities. Mike Martin, Gold Glove Charities. They're on Twitter, Facebook, but Gold Glove Charities. He's based out of Kansas City, but he does this. He does this almost pretty much. I want to say almost. It's a nationwide charity, but he's put on events all across the Midwest, down the South, in the East as well. And what he does is it's similar. It's basically providing wishes to children that are terminally ill. He had a really cool deal a couple of years ago with, and this is one reason I like Carson Wentz. I hate the Eagles, but Carson Wentz is a very big part of one of the young men who lost his life to cancer a few years ago. Even wore the kid's name on his cleats. But Mike does some really cool things with this charity. And what they do with the big thing he does during the baseball season, the teams wear these cancer, jerseys. Not cancer jerseys, the wrong way to put it. Jerseys to promote beating cancer. And each team does their own cancer night, their own Gold Glove charity night. And both teams will wear special jerseys. And they're really cool. As a matter of fact, they were so cool in Kansas City, 2019 and the 18 season, the T-Bones started wearing the white Gold Glove charity jerseys that were basically a one couple game deal, turned into that was their home jersey in 2019. That's how much the players like the charity and like the jerseys. In my closet, I've got a ton of those jerseys. I'll go over in a moment and grab them. But I want to tell you though, but Mike does a great job. He puts these events on. Also, he's got a concert coming up in September. But he puts these events on. And one of the coolest things I think I'm a part of as a broadcaster is to watch them do this home run with a youngster who's terminally ill, and maybe a couple of them who will, the players will line up down both dugouts, not just the home team, but both the home and visiting team, line up down the baselines, and they'll cheer the kiddos around, maybe 2 or 3, 4 of them around the bases during one of the inning breaks, usually on the 5th or 6th inning. And both teams are there making a victory line for them as they round the bases in front of the crowd. It's really cool. The kids will bring out the lineup cards for the ball game with the managers, kind of honorary bat boys, if you will, bat girls, if you will. It's a really cool deal. And I've bought, you know what, I'm going to see here if I can do that. Let's give me a moment and walk over here. So just follow me here. Because I've got some jerseys here. I know I'm not supposed to walk off screen, but I'm over here. You can hear me still. Let me see what I've got here. Gold Glove charity jersey wise. I've got them here somewhere. Here we go. This is No, not the one. We got them. Just give me a second here. What? Well, I've got a whole box of them, but I can't find them for some reason. I don't know where they're at, but they should be in this closet. But anyway, guys, sorry, but where they are. Well, no, that's not one either. Well, here's one right here. Here's one. This is one. No, this is not one. That's all right, babe. This is just live TV. We're just kind of embarrass ourselves from the whole world. Okay, here we go. Sorry, folks, we're back. A lot of them.
Everybody noticed that it took me 2 seconds to put my hands on him.
yeah. Let's make fun of the fat kid. That's always a great thing. Love that. All right, here we go. This is a great example. Now, most of these jerseys are. I've got a whole set of them hanging in my office in Kansas City. But I'm going to pull this down so you guys can see what Mike does here. Oops, sorry about that, guys. There we go. There we go. This is a T-Bones. This is the jersey I was talking about. This is what the T-Bones wore. This is a Gold Glove charity jersey that the team wore for one of the events in 2018, and the team just kept wearing. They loved them so much, and they're comfortable as heck. The team wore them. You can see the T-Bones in the front, and you see the side. This was the Gorilla Strong promotion he was doing. Gold Glove Charities. You see it right there with the cancer ribbon right there. In the back, of course, had the T-Bone logo, and then, but yeah, this was an example of one. Now, he's also done some really cool, and some of the ones I've got in my office that are signed are really cool. They've got cool color schemes, and he does this for all these different teams at different places. Chicago, where the Chicago Dogs play, he's done them, and he's got one of the books down in and then. Jackson, Mississippi area for the Braves. Gary, Indiana, where I used to work, does one. He scatters them all across the American Association and really all the baseball leagues. So it's really a cool deal. So, yeah, a lot of them are hanging in my office there in KC. So, Mom, you didn't miss it. But, yeah, let's see here. Where was I? Anyway, Mike's a great guy. And, again, I encourage you to go there. I have him on my show. We'll be having my show with the T-Bones coming up in the hot stove during this winter time. But it's really a cool thing. One of my favorite things in memories in the broadcast booth the last couple of years was to look down and see our Kansas City players playing catch with a kid that was one of the Gold Glove kids. Our guys are very dialed in as a road team. We were the road team in Gary, and both Gary and Kansas City came out and really helped push that event, and it was really special. So anytime I have a chance to promote Mike, and my mom happened to bring, Mike jumps on all the time, but Mom brought that up, and I thought it was very important to bring that up. I may actually have a graphic here too. So I love about this show, because this show I can kind of just do my thing, and I can my graphics and see if I may have it up here. But here we go. Yeah, here we go. There it is. There's their website right there. So yeah, but yeah, a lot of them hang in my office there, and I hope new KC leadership. I'm sure they will. Matter of fact, I had a great conference call today with that. There's some exciting things going on there. So anyway, let's play catch up there. They're goldglovekc.org, but again, Gold Glove Charities are a really cool place. And again, these jerseys, love them. And this is a real. I'm gonna use the word conservative, but he's got some really cool ones, crazy colors. The Chicago ones were bright, and they were looking really cool. These are really cool. I love these. These are going to be collector's items really soon. So I was very proud of these, and I've got. Actually, I have a Railcats one in my closet. Now that I think about it, I just saw it, and I didn't grab it. There was a Railcats one over there, but I'm not going to get up and do it again. So anyway, Gold Glove Charities, that's a cool deal. Where were we? Let's go through. We didn't hear from Mom Music. I talked about that. Yeah, but Mom, you saw that on the screen. Let's see. Thank you, honey, for doing that. Let's see. Where were we? Yes, this is a very good thing. And I don't know people, and I'm going to get the Browns thing now. A couple of things. Paul Morgan, he and his wife Tiana and the kids are just dear friends of ours who live in Perth. Now, Paul is Australian, grew up in Perth. His wife Tiana is from Canada. She grew up in Ottawa, right there on the French, the Ottawa. There's the border there between French Canada. Damn, I'm terrible today. The French province and Quebec, and then Ottawa right there. There's a river that separates the two. Anyway, she's from that area. All right. And Paul and her met around Toronto a few years ago. Now they were married, living in Perth. But Paul covered North American sport there in Toronto and got the Blue Jays. He was working in media there. And when he met her, he got into the whole, got into Major League Baseball, Blue Jays fan, but there's no NFL team now in Toronto or Canada, really. The NFL teams kind of depending on what's the closest city across the border from you. Well, Buffalo's one because Buffalo's about 55 miles from Toronto is Buffalo. Right across the lake is Cleveland. You actually fly from Cleveland or Toronto to Cleveland, which I've done before. It's just like go over the lake and boom, you're there. And then Lake Erie, right? Yeah, Lake Erie. And then you also got some of the folks in Western Ontario are fans of Detroit. If you go over toward like over in Winnipeg, they'll be fans of either the Bears, the Packers, or the Vikings. It just kind of depends on what part of the country you're from. But Paul is a huge Browns fan. So, and usually the Browns games are on at noon here, which is in Australia would be 2 a.m. the middle of the night on a Sunday before a work week. They don't get a lot of primetime games over for the Browns in Australia. The games in Western Australia air the 2 o'clock game, and then there's always the 3 o'clock games at 5 a.m. Usually wraps around 8 o'clock in the morning. And then the night game, the Monday night or Sunday night game, would start 9 o'clock in the morning and wrap around just before lunch. If you're in Sydney or Melbourne, you will see basically it's a lunchtime primetime game. I remember watching the Saints and Falcons one year at a casino in Sydney. So again, the time zones are different. It's a day forward, but Paul gets he's a rare chance to watch his team. Well, last night he had a chance to watch his team, and boy, they were rolling 28-0. Got a little close, but then they wound up pulling away late. And his Browns are going to go to Kansas City, which is obviously big to a lot of my friends because I work in Kansas City during the baseball season, and we do have a bit of a soft spot for the Chiefs because of the connection with the Hunt family and where my wife teaches, and the Hunts are from here, and they used to play here, and all the connections. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of Kansas City and Dallas love back and forth, right? So it'll be interesting to see that. By the way, happy birthday, Craig. Happy birthday, Craig, by the way. I just haven't wished you on Facebook yet, but happy birthday up in Canada. Yeah, Keith. Oh, yeah, you heard me say I didn't like the Big Ten. Well, again, I'll watch the game. I don't really care. I'm not going to – I watch the game. 7.5. Still think Ohio State covers that. But, yes, but so Paul gets up this morning, gets a chance to – he went to work. He was at his office, and I don't know if he'll jump on or not if he sees this, but he might. He was at his office at the radio station there in Subiaco, there in Perth. It's a cool area where the station he works for is based. And I can envision him watching that game as he was watching on his computer. He probably got up during commercials because it was all on live over there, like a Fox channel over there kind of deal. I can see him walking in the hallway to the conference room, pacing, going to the restroom, washing his hands, pacing back by the studio, back to his office. I'm sure he's just wearing the carpet out between those two places, but good for him. And it sets up an interesting matchup next week. Can lead 2 Tech quarterbacks or Texas natives as well face off next weekend. What I don't know if people realize that Baker Mayfield began his career at Texas Tech. That is where Patrick Mahomes finished his career at Texas Tech. There's a little drama between, not between those two necessarily, but between Cliff Kingsbury, the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals now, and Baker Mayfield going back, I believe, 2015, 16-ish. Mayfield transferred, and he was not given his waiver. What happens usually if a guy transfers now, the transfer portal's out now, but back then, a guy transferred within the conference, they had to be given a thumbs up to go ahead and play. If not, they had to sit out a year. Well, Texas Tech would not allow, and although Tech is coached by Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma is coached by Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley is a Texas Tech former assistant. He's a Muleshoe, Texas native. He's a Texas Tech graduate, which Cliff Kingsbury is too. They're old mates, old buddies. But Kingsbury and Mayfield apparently didn't see eye to eye. And the way the story goes, Kingsbury would not allow the transfer. Well, let the transfer happen, but he made him sit out a year, so Oklahoma couldn't play Mayfield that first year. He had to sit out and then was able to play those next 2 years. So that was a big deal. And there's a little drama there. Now, that's not so much drama between Tech. It was more between Kingsbury and Baker Mayfield. There's a little rivalry between the two schools, Oklahoma and Texas Tech, on the two quarterbacks. Mayfield was the Heisman Trophy winner. Mahomes wasn't. But I think by the sample size we've seen so far, Mahomes, MVP, Super Bowl winner, he's been everything and then some. But they're both, the interesting parallel of the two is they're both commercial geniuses. I mean, Baker Mayfield's commercials are hilarious. Those where he's trying to get in the stadium or cooking the turkey for the guest or covering the seats up, all the things that he's doing, that's hilarious. Mahomes' commercials are pretty funny too. The one with the haircut, where they're all getting haircuts like him, very funny. They're both commercial endorsing megastars right now, along with probably the third in line would be probably Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott of the Packers, and the Cowboys are making a lot of money, and Christian McCaffrey as well, making a lot of money promotions-wise. But sets up an interesting matchup this weekend, Kansas City and Cleveland. Cleveland, I believe, and I'll pull that up in a moment, opening a line here. But it sets up an interesting deal. How about Tom Brady and the Bucs? Yeah, that's exciting. That's pretty exciting. I think that's cool. I know that, Bobby, you're a Bucs guy. Good for you guys. I've been to a game at Tampa, but it was very, very humid back in that October day, Cowboys and Bucs. I was wearing a blue jersey too. Not the smartest move. Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Sorry, go KC. I have no. Again, I'll be pulling for the Texas Tech grad or Texas Tech side of things. Either way, there's a Tech connection, but I don't think Patrick quite finished his degree yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he only has a couple hours left, but I don't know that for sure. I know his fiance is a graduate of the University of Texas, Tyler, I think that's right. I believe that's where she went to school. Brittany's her name. But anyway, yeah, Tom Brady and the Bucs, that'll be a great match. Great matchups this week and over the weekend too. But interesting to see, it'll be Mayfield and Mahomes in a matchup. Of course, Breeze and Brady. And you got the two veterans. I mean, they're both, they're combined 80 years old. I love Drew Brees, Sigma Chi, and Hoke. Brady's grown on me over the years. I kind of think he's every guy's sort of, that would be me if I had all these things. And he gets a lot of grief in general from fans, but I don't think he's a terrible individual. I don't think. I think he's a pretty decent guy. I know Drew Brees is a good guy. But, I think they're both pretty solid, you don't see them. Let me restate that. Inflategate was obviously a dreadful thing for the Patriots and their fans. And, Brees made some controversial statements. But in general, I think they're both off the field pretty decent dudes. I really think, I guess. I think Brees probably the nod slightly. But, I don't have no problem. I have no problem with either one of those guys. It's not like I'm trying to think of somebody I just didn't like as a player. I didn't like Bradshaw as a kid, but now I like him. So I think a lot of it has to do is they wind their career down. I think that has a little bit to do. I'll use an example. I love Peyton Manning, but Eli was kind of like, meh. But as he's retired, I kind of like him a lot more. I think it just sort of, that's where you come from. Maybe that's kind of the way we feel about the athletes once they retire. I seem to feel better about certain players once they hang it up. And also maybe it's just your perspective. I don't know. The late Kobe Bryant, I had a chance to meet him. I mentioned that a while ago. And my perspective on him totally changed when I met him and had a conversation for about 45 minutes to an hour one day, just sitting around at a pub table. in Dallas years ago, and my whole attitude of him flipped by talking to him as a person. So I think that's part of it too. Anyway, so yeah, Breeze, another Texas. Yes, Breeze native, classmate of my sisters at Purdue. Yes, that's true. He's also Sigma Chi. He's Austin. Austin. Is he Westlake or Lake Travis? Which one is he from? Don't remember. He's from he and Nick Foles are from the same high school. Nick Foles and Breeze from the same high school. So yeah, it should be interesting. That line, let me pull that line up for you too. All the lines this weekend. LA at the Rams at Green Bay opened at 7.5. Green Bay. That total is at 46.5 when opened over the weekend. It looks like it's staying pretty consistently across the board at 7. Baltimore and Buffalo. This game could be a real this game could be a slugfest. I mean, I think this could be a real violent old school clash, although Buffalo's offense is pretty special, but so is Baltimore's. 3.5 Buffalo. Some places got it 2.5. Total 49.5, but 3-point favorites Buffalo. We'll talk more about it on Friday a bit. Cleveland and Kansas City. KC's a 10-point favorite. 54.5 open. It's at 56 now. A day later, or not even a day later, hours later, open at 54. It's not 56.5, 56. The only problem with that total is that you got to, if Cleveland shows up and scores 21, 22, you ought to get that total. But if Kansas City goes out and just blows their doors off and their defense gets a couple of stops and clock management starts becoming a thing, you could see that being 35-6, 35-9. If Cleveland can't get the offense going, I can see that going to the total. But I think that if Cleveland plays anywhere close to what they played last weekend, over the total there, I would think. Tampa and New Orleans, 3.5-point favorite opening for New Orleans, 49 the total. That's climbed to 52 as well as of the last hour. 3 points is where the consensus is across the board in Vegas, open at 3.5. So I love that game. I think that game is probably going to be last team to score wins, although I have a real sneaking suspicion on that one. Early knee jerk for me is I'm taking Tampa all day there. Again, we'll look at more of this on Friday, but you'll see Nate up there in Kansas. Speaking of Kansas City, but yeah. So excited for my mate Paul Morgan. Again, can you imagine being 10,000 miles away and your team finally gets a playoff win and there he is. He's going to be pretty fired up. So I'm really happy for him. Take the over, but yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think either team, and really the Redskins, I say Redskins, the football team, Al Michaels did it too. The football team did move up down the field against Tampa. So yeah, I'm kind of liking that too. Anyway, that's this weekend. In case you missed it, I'm going to pull this up too. I don't have it loaded in my Facebook, but I'll pull it up for you guys. This was the scene yesterday here. We had snow over the weekend. Now, it's weird. Usually, you can draw the line of Texas snow. For example, the state line. If you go, the Red River separates Oklahoma and Texas and Louisiana and Arkansas from Texas. The red runs along the Louisiana-Arkansas border and then turns around the Oklahoma border. That's the river that runs just north of Dallas and Fort Worth, the Red River. That separates the two. And really, usually any winter, you can separate the snow line, the freezing precip line across. The Red River is kind of the place that kind of cuts north of DFW. And you go west of DFW toward Abilene, Midland, Odessa, and then toward Lubbock and Amarillo. That line, because the Red River stops kind of in those plains, turns to be more like Kansas weather. A lot more of that blowing snow and sleet. You'll get a lot more of that. You'll get, Amarillo gets, I believe, something like 12 times more inches of precipitation than Dallas-Fort Worth in the winter. I mean, it's a snow belt. Lubbock had, 8 inches over the course of the weekend. They had a lot of, hey, let's go to see, yeah. Mary, good to see you as well. But yeah, we got our snow. We got our snow here. And but the weird part about this one, usually it's you go west of Dallas toward Eastland and toward Abilene, and then going out toward Midland, Odessa, Lubbock, that you'll get 3, 4, 5 inches. We'll get a dusting here. This is one of those weird storms. And the last 2 snowstorms we've had have both been like this. It's where snow in Oklahoma, snow in West Texas, DFW gets a dusting, but they got pounded south of here. Waco, which is about 90 miles south of here, got 3 or 4 inches. And the hill country got pounded 4 and 5 inches. And if you may have seen those videos, down the hill country in the central Texas, they got a boatload of snow. Well, here in DFW, it snowed. It was gone by, we came out of church yesterday and it was so cool. And then it was freezing rain and eventually gone. The dusting was done by 3 in the afternoon. It looked a little bit like this. Let me play this for you guys here. This would have been yesterday. This is from my Instagram here. So let me pull this up here. We'll screen share and we'll close this thing out for you because I'm getting hungry. And I also got conference call from Australia too. But here is what we did over the course. This is what we saw. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. There we go. This was our house yesterday. This is me sitting on the couch. This is the what it looked like at the house there. Yeah, 2 to 5 inches of boatload. My wife says she's right. You can see that's looking at our window there in the house, and that's there we are. Sitting on the sofa watching football after church, and this out the window. It's pretty cool. I don't think I've got it's just a short little clip. You see the snow. That's what we got there. Pretty cool. But yeah, it was kind of fun to have that. I mean, just for a day. It's been weird. We usually get the 1 or 2 snow ice episodes a year, and that's it. But we haven't really had anything since 2015. The last time we had anything like this, remotely like this, and for a while there, we got socked. See, the 2010 season when they had the Super Bowl here, Packers and Steelers, it snowed for a week. We had a week of winter weather, just straight snow and ice. I guess the next year we had fall and spring snow. We've had it, and then all of a sudden 15 rolled around, we hadn't had it. And now we've got it again, so we got a little bit of dusting though. So we good to see a little 2 to 5 inches there. A boatload for us, but that was what we had happening there. We'll give you some more snow picks on Wednesday. Wednesday, the show coming up on Wednesday. We will, what we'll do. Why do my wife, you know what? I wanted to pop on and give me her snow story too. Is she there? Honey, you got time to jump on real fast here? Real quick. I'll let you let her get set up there, but because she was hilarious. I wish you guys could hear the audio, and I'll try to play it on. I'll see if I can probably find one of them from. But we came on. Church is out. We look out the window. It's snowing, and she's like, she's all excited because she's a teacher. They don't get snow days. They had snow days in forever. They've had tornado days. They've had pandemics, but they've had no real snow day. And the ultimate back in these parts, as a kid growing up, was the snow day. When you get all the scroll across the screen of your school, if your school was closed, you're like, yeah, you get a bonus day. And my wife was very much like that yesterday. She wanted a bonus day. She was kind of in that same boat. She would like to have seen this picture right there. See me rolling snow. Honey, you going to jump on? Thought she might, but give her a chance. Waiting. All right. Well, Wednesday we will, of course, Friday we'll do our beer test. Wednesday we will do. Let's come up with something. I don't know what we'll do Wednesday. I'll figure something. Oh yeah, we'll look at the snow. Oh, you know what? Wednesday. I want to tell you guys Wednesday. I don't have a lot of video of it. But I got some photos of it, and I want to show you guys or tell you guys about a great recipe that I tried something this weekend. I'll tease it. We tried something here at the house this weekend that I'd never done. I've done before, but I've never done it this way. Got to tell you, we're pretty happy about it. So last call, hon. You going to jump on or not? Babe? I could hear her downstairs. I just don't know what she's not going to jump it on. All right. Anyway. Okay. Well, we'll have her on Wednesday. How about that? Okay. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Alabama and Ohio State here in a few minutes. And then, of course, we'll roll on to the rest of the week. Should be better weather in Dallas-Fort Worth. Going to be high in the 50s. Honey, I thought you were going to jump on.
Sorry.
What were you doing?
I was setting the table.
For?
Dinner.
Okay. Well, we're still on. So,
Okay,
well, I'm just going to, you don't have to, you can just kind of, I was going to have you real quickly here, but you were fired up in the snow. Why were you like a little kid? You were like a little
I
kid.
was totally like a little kid. We haven't had snow since 2015.
Yeah. And we usually get 2 episodes. Usually one.
It's usually ice.
Yeah, one's an ice episode, and one's a snow
But
episode.
we've gotten so good at being locked down. Like a snow day would be like meh. It's like any other day during COVID, and we're good at being locked down. And what was my other point about that? Oh, and now there's basically no more snow days because we can go to school virtually.
See, now, I wonder in parts of the country, because I know Indiana, where my brother and his wife teach, the only time they really miss school for weather is if it's too cold for the buses to run, or the buses are, because
Those have to be like 30 below.
as long as the buses can run, but as long as the buses can run, they're usually okay. And as long as they can keep the school warm and heated, but it takes a lot to miss a lot of weather.
Yeah.
But
we locked down at the mention of it. And did you mention that we measure snow in width, not depth?
well, and in
If
Caroline,
we get 2 to 5 inches, it means we get this much snow.
we were in Cooperstown to pull those pictures up. We were in Cooperstown 2 years ago, and Caroline, Cooperstown, New York is like a picturesque movie set.
It is.
And there's a lake right there. I can't remember the name. Yeah, there's a name. There's a little lake that's right to the edge of the town, and you drive along the lake, and there's a cool park and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, the lake was frozen still. We were there. The little lighthouse there, but it's really a cool little picturesque setting there in Cooperstown. We were there in March, but the thing is, I think you're right though. Used to be. Now if you go, I think now if you had a snow day, you just go virtual. But back in the day, you had a free day.
Done and you were sledding.
Yeah.
Now, although my boys were quick to say, but that electricity might take out your internet. And they were hopeful that the electricity would take out their internet. So I guess if there's power outages or possible power outages, in multiple populations of the school, they may say no dice, have the day off.
But I think the thing is, at least for those colder places, Indiana. I know when I was in Iowa, it was the same thing. As long as the buses could run safely, and kids weren't going to be out, kids weren't sitting out there freezing it. It's one thing to be out there; it's 40 degrees out, but if it's like 4 degrees and the wind was blowing, and it wasn't going to happen. But it's amazing though. This one was crazy. I don't know if you saw this, but south of us they got socked. North of
socked means 2 to 5 inches.
North of us got socked because Oklahoma gets plenty of snow during the year. They get plenty of snow, and it's just, we're 3 hours from Oklahoma City up the road, and Oklahoma City gets a boatload of snow, and Amarillo gets snow, Lubbock gets snow, but usually by the time you get to Dallas-Fort Worth, it turns to sleet, ice, or rain, but just to our west and north, it's that little like an arc of where, and then this time it was to our north. And all the way around us, but DFW and going east, even over in Mississippi, I saw they got snow. We got no accumulation whatsoever. We just got a little dusting, but it was kind of cool to come out of church. You were like a little kid.
It was so pretty. There's something I was going to say about the snow. And that's not getting it. Oh, I even told my boys that I was telling you that I wanted to go outside and make a snowman, even if it was just the world's tiniest snowman. I wanted to make one. But I was like, I'm going to give it another hour so that there's more ice on the cushions and stuff outside, or more snow on the cushions outside. And by the time I went out, by the time I was like, oh, it's time to go out there and get it, it turned to rain and it was gone.
Yeah. And see, I again, my brother teaches up in Indiana, and I've the most snow, even though I was in school in Lubbock and we got plenty of snow in Lubbock and we would go to class in the snow in Lubbock. I mean, heck, Tech played football one year in snow against U of H back in the late October game. Anyway, there was no stranger snow in Lubbock. We'd see, but the most snow I've ever seen would be going up the mountains of New Mexico or Colorado. I mean, being in Colorado, where you'd have trees that were, by the time you got there in February, they were, just the tip of the tree was sticking up. And then in going to Indiana, my first time to Indiana during the wintertime, we took the train from from South Bend to Chicago to go shopping and spend the weekend in Chicago, like a 4-day weekend in the holidays. And we got there, we parked the car at the train station, put the train in. We were gone Friday night, Saturday night, came back Sunday or maybe Monday morning, midday. We got back and it snowed off and on that weekend. That car was a mobile. It was just, and we had to go and brush off the license plate with the guy that come out and brush in the parking lot to make sure that that was our car, because there was no, I mean, there was no way we could know that we were covered in snow. We had no idea. So that was the main deal with that. And I'd never seen so much snow, and then it was stacked up so high there in Indiana. I'd never seen it stacked up that high. So I know those folks up north, you gotta really be snowed in not to go to school. Because you guys, did y'all miss it at Penn State?
No,
or not?
I was gonna say to Ethan, yeah, like we trudged everywhere, and it was just a matter of like hoping that somebody was around to shovel your driveway. The other thing I was gonna say about Pennsylvania, there was a combined thing. Like at Penn State, it had to be combined more than 18 inches of snow, and be like 20 below. Like, and it couldn't just be one or the other. It had to be them both before they would cancel classes. So I think they'd canceled classes like twice in the history of the school until that big storm a couple of years ago. Do you remember the one that hit like Boston and shut everything down?
Nope.
That big storm a couple of years ago.
I watch my news, Texas news usually.
Oh, shut up. The news. Tell him to bite me. Here, come bite him. Come bite him. Roof. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
I got it. I missed my phone call, so.
I know it's more important than
No, I have a conference call that was supposed to start at top of the hour.
Oh, I also have dinner ready whenever you're.
Well, I'll come down. Okay. Hey, buddy. All right, thanks, man. There was our snow talk. It's snow talk. But yeah, it was funny to come out of church and she was so excited. And I gotta admit I was excited, but having spent a lot of time up in the Chicagoland area and even Kansas City the last couple of years, I've been up. Now the last 2 times I was in KC in the winter, it snowed both times. So. And I think I told this story too, how my first day walking in a snowstorm in Lubbock and my jeans froze to my legs, or that freezing sleet that was blowing in our face walking to class. So you drive to school in a foot of snow. See, no, that's what we do. All right, everybody. Wednesday we'll come back. I'm going to give you guys again a Wednesday show. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a preview of what I was doing in the kitchen over the weekend, and we'll also just catch up and we'll do a lot of this. Okay, who knows what I'll dream up as well. But I tell you guys this every time: let's be kinder, gentler, show more love, and let's keep on being better. Let's be better tomorrow than we were today. Congratulations to my mate Paul Morgan. His Browns are going to Kansas City. You folks in KC, should be a great game, and for us, you fans, folks down in Florida and other parts, hope your team does well. And we got a week to talk about it. Enjoy the game tonight. I love you guys. Virtual hugs. And we'll see you guys at 5 o'clock Central Time on Wednesday. Let's get that close up. And let's hope you guys can hear it. I hope you guys can. Love y'all.